Hey everybody, welcome back to Manor Road Studio, home of the Alive podcast. I'm Dale, the amazing dreamer, and with me is my Hope Rock. Most of you know the sign on the wall: when you feel like quitting, remember why you started. It's been a while since we've done a podcast, and I really apologize because my goal is to do this 3-4 times a week, maybe even every day. But this little ugly thing called stage 4 metastatic cancer keeps rearing its ugly head and kind of gives me a little bit of a setback, but not enough to make me quit. So we're still rocking right along. I was in Destin, Florida over the weekend, down there looking at some different things, and went to a church down there with a friend who pastors it, and he shared something in the sermon that I want to share with you. I've always talked about the sands in the hourglass and how the sand in the hourglass is always falling, meaning our time on earth is quite limited. We are mortal beings. We're not immortal. We're finite. But anyway, in his sermon, he had this thing. He goes, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. And then he quit. And he goes, "Do you hear that?" And we're all like, "What?" He goes, "The clock stopped." And I thought, wow, what a metaphor for life. So when you think about life, think about tick, tock, tick, tock. The clock of time is always spinning. So it's incumbent upon us to do the most we can with the time that we've been given. And life is a challenge. My goodness gracious. We've all got our own obstacles and our own crosses to bear, our own albatross to carry. Mine is the silly little thing called cancer. Yours could be something else. But regardless, I won't say that any of our situations are better or worse than anyone else's, because we all have issues that we have to face. And when we're facing those issues at that moment, it's the most troublesome thing that we're confronted with. So I've never liked to say, "Oh yeah, I wish I had your problems." That's kind of an unfair statement, because at any given time, your problem, my problem, their problem, his problem, her problem, is having a major impact on your life. Now, what are we going to do here at Manor Road Studio, home of the Alive podcast? On Alive, as you remember, authentic, love, imagination, victor, and evolve. And that's what we like to talk about every single podcast. And how do we continually evolve when all these obstacles are facing us or up against us? Well, the trick is to keep reinventing yourself regardless of the situation you're in. And we've talked about this before, and a lot of people go, "Oh, but Dale, you have no idea what I'm facing." And you're right, I don't. And I will never belittle or make issue with what you're facing, because I know what you're facing is tough. What I can say is, no matter the obstacle, tick tock is still going, and there's life on the other side. We've just got to get there. So I got several things I want to tell you about, because it's kind of exciting. We've started what's called the Book of the Month Club. Pay attention to this. We started out with The Traveler's Gift by Andy Andrews. It's a book that will inspire anybody's life. I don't care who you are. The story's fantastic. He leads you on a journey that really, really opens the possibilities to life and will make you re-look at the way you think you already look at things. It's a book about hope. It's a book about possibilities, re-identifying who you are, rebuilding your dreams. So The Traveler's Gift, I really recommend everyone to pick that up and get it, read it. Let's talk about it. Then hopefully here in about 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be moving on to the next book. But every book that I'm going to recommend is going to be a book that is all about lifting you up, making you better, and giving you the strength to face whatever obstacles are before you. And I tell you that because I'm a firm believer that every one of you listening to this are truly God's greatest miracle. Now, in the trip to Destin, let me go a little further than the church, and thank you to Mick Garner, the pastor of the church there, who shared TikTok with me. Mick, I really appreciate that, and it was great meeting you and your lovely wife, Darla, and look forward to a continued friendship there. Well, I went to a thrift store. As you know, I'm an eBay thrifter, and we'll go more into that a little later. Went to Haven House. It's between Destin and Miramar Beach. Went in there, had a great time, great experience. I went to check out, and the gentleman checking me out, I just struck up a conversation with him, and I didn't realize that the Haven House thrift store in Destin is built strictly to support men in addiction recovery. And I thought, wow, what a powerful, powerful ministry, and bless the Haven House thrift store for employing these men and getting them back on the track to be productive citizens in life. But more than that, to let them know that someone cares and your life has value. And the addiction, it's one of those things that I call a grace disguised. These gentlemen were so happy to strike up a conversation with me. They were so happy about where they were in life, and the fact that someone believed enough in them to help them overcome the obstacles they were facing. And the story doesn't end there. The gentleman said, hey, if you're into thrifting, he goes down the road about a mile and a half on the left is another thrift house that supports women in addiction recovery. I apologize, I don't remember the name of the thrift store, but I'll get it next time. So anyway, Chris and I drove down, and we went in and we bought some items there and struck up a conversation with a lady named Emily and a couple other ladies. I don't remember their names. Emily has since friended me on Facebook. Emily, I appreciate that a lot. But again, you could just feel the hope, I guess would be a good way of putting it. You could feel it in their voice. I mean, they faced the giant before them. They slew the giant and overcome. And I thought, wow, man, that is so powerful to see what these thrift stores are doing for these men and women. They're giving them their life back. They're giving them hope back. They're giving them a sense of purpose back. But more than anything, and I'm not sure that many of you listening can really, really get this, but they're giving these people something even bigger. They're giving them a love that will now go out and share with others that they too have hope and a purpose for life when things look hopeless. So I was really, really moved by the experience in this particular trip. So again, no matter where you are in life, if you're breathing, if you're listening to this, there is hope. Do not give up. Seriously, contact me, Dale Childress. Follow me on Facebook. Send me a message on Messenger. Please subscribe and like me on YouTube because we're going to keep putting out good, wholesome content that will lift you up. Now, I want to go on a little further because one of the things that I do is I thrift. And the big reason I got into thrifting is because I lost the ability to physically work the job I was working, which I loved. But again, cancer and the fact that I've got a urostomy on one side and nephrostomy on the other side, I'm on hormone deprivation therapy. There was a lot of issues that took away my ability to physically work, but it didn't take away my ability to mentally inspire and work. So I still find a great joy and purpose in living life. And that came through thrifting. I met so many wonderful people in that facet of whatever you want to call it. So I encourage you to follow me on eBay as well, The Amazing Dreamer. And we're setting up a thing to where a lot of the proceeds to our sales will go to places like the Haven House or the Women of Hope here in my hometown of Jackson, Tennessee. People that are in addiction recovery that are willing to give someone a second chance. Hopefully in the next couple of videos, I'll be showing you some of the thrifts that I buy so you can go, hey, I'd like to have that, and give you the ability to purchase it. And I'll leave links to how to do that also. But in the meantime, you can look at my store. It is called The Amazing Dreamer on eBay. We'd certainly appreciate all the support you can get because we'll promise you we're going to share that love with as many people as we possibly can. Also, Chris is in the process of opening our Amazon FBA store. We'll also be sharing more about that as time goes on, so be on the lookout for it. And the reason I want to tell you about all this is to let you know that you can start from where you are with what you have and make amazing things happen. Because something as simple as eBay thrifting, you've got items in your house that you trip over, walk over, don't look at anymore, it's hidden in the closet, that you could list and start getting a leg up, a foot up, make sales, meet people, and give life a purpose and a possibility that you didn't think existed. Now, I've made every mistake you could possibly make on eBay and as a thrifter. So I encourage you to get involved. Ask me questions. I'll give you the best answer I know how to give you. I can at least point you in a direction, and because it's tricky. It's tricky. It's fun, but there's so much into the right content, the right keywords, the right photos, the right everything. But yes, before you say, oh man, it ain't worth all that trouble, it definitely is worth the trouble. It'll give you a new lease on life, something new to look forward to, and hey, maybe a way to clear out the house too. And if you do it with the purpose of helping others, who knows what could possibly happen. So there you have it. That's today's podcast. So I'm going to kind of recap because a lot went into this. So I want you to be thinking about tick, tock, tick, tock. And that clock of time is always spinning, but one day it's going to stop. And when it does, there's two things left to be said. I wish I had, or I'm glad I did. And hopefully at that point in life, other people will go, wow, he can honestly say, I'm glad I did. And I want you to be able to say that too. So please, once again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share it with family and friends, share it with anybody you can. Hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it because it gives YouTube the opportunity to share this with more people. Also on eBay, The Amazing Dreamer. And again, we will be sharing proceeds with people in addiction recovery. We'll continue to go into that every week. The book of the month was The Traveler's Gift by Andy Andrews. I promise you, you'll find so much in that book that you'll be glad you read it. And you'll be looking forward to the next book. So until then, I'm Dale with the Alive Podcast here at Manor Road Studio. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be ready to do another one. I'll be excited about it, and maybe by next week I'll be able to share all the thrifts that I'm buying, the things that I'm selling, and if it interests you, you can get involved and help make a difference in someone's life. So till then, see you soon.